Welcome everybody to the season finale here with Chop It Up with me, Tony. Uh, this episode particularly is solo dolo. This episode is the reflection on, what I've learned and being able to have these sit downs with all the past guests and for the future, what I'm expecting. And, those who want to come on with me on this journey for season two, please let me know. Hit me up on Messenger, hit me up on YouTube if you are willing to sit down with me, allow me to interview you for your podcast, for my podcast, I would truly appreciate it. It'd be a great thing to kind of just to have a conversation with everyone and to kind of see what everyone's been through. And right now I'm going to give thanks to those who have been my guests, my brother, my sister, Miss Flexi, SG3B, my wife, my love, Miss Chloe, Ellie, past friend, thank you guys, Mr. 216 Studios, Mr. Kent. Thank you for coming on board and allowing me to go over there at 216 Studios, as you guys saw, and we dropped a video to show you guys what the studio looks like. And if those who want to come on board and make a podcast stuff too as well, shout out to them. They have an open area over there in Crystal Lake. You guys take a look. It's fun. It looks great. Got different type of sessions you guys want to do. Shout out to them. Mr. Tom Handyside, man. Full Tilt Club over there in Wisconsin. Shout out to those guys allowing me to be there at the gym, do the interview right there. It was phenomenal. Great atmosphere, you guys. Great atmosphere. So if you guys want to go out there, get your swole on, that's where you want to go. My little bro, Mr. Los, man, especially of all people. It's been great. It's been fun. This journey has been great. It's just to kind of find myself and hopefully kind of hope we can help people. Hopefully these episodes we're able to, help those that, maybe going through something and kind of have some questions, of course, but also too specifically why I started this journey is for my kids, 4 little ones, and it's honestly to say tomorrow's never promised. And I wanted to start this journey specifically for them. So in case something ever happens to me, at least they got something to fall back to and say, that's my dad. I think that's really the big key and the big driving force to this whole thing, really is. And what allows me to stay committed to this process. And season 2 specifically coming on board, guys, it's allowing me to make it, more eager to get this on the road. And it's been fun sitting down with everybody, like I said before. But some of the things I wanted to reflect on for sure was, understanding my siblings' journey, and even then, you guys, your sibling has a journey. And a lot of times you may see it from one side of a vision, but you all honestly just don't know what they're feeling and how things are going. You really don't know. You can only see it from one side of you, but those feelings and stuff, you don't have those. And it was a great opportunity to sit with them and just to get an understanding of what their path was, what their feelings were during the time frame of their struggles, what helped them, come over the hurdles, because it could be different. It was definitely different than mine, for sure, what I found out. And it was a blessing to kind of reflect on that. And, hopefully I was a helping stone in their build, in their journey. And I just want to say thank you to, my sister, my brother for, allowing me to share their story with me, and at least to kind of make me understand during the times of what I was going through, my issues, their issues, what they were going through, and what helped them, in their path. So that was a great thing for sure. That's one message for sure to lay out there, guys. It's just understanding your sibling has a story, has a journey, and get a chance to sit down and just talk with them. Life, brings us with a lot of challenges, and it's very in essence, of course, and we may not have that time to sit down with them, but make time for sure. Make time to just understand. And we may be, as older siblings, setting our ways, setting our stone of saying, this is This is what's going to happen, has to be, but you need to hear them out. And I know for a fact that was awesome to hear. It was great to get an understanding for sure. The other thing I've learned for sure is everyone should feel passionate about their culture. I learned that specifically about with my wife, Miss Chloe, man. She has been a very passionate person since I've known her. Since 2004, we've been in each other's lives. And what I've loved and what I've appreciated out of her, why I chose, one of the big reasons, not why, but one of the big reasons why, was an easy choice to make on knowing that this one's going to be my wife, this one's going to be my future. It's just her passion for our culture. And, at me as an Hispanic, there was only one way of growing up that I've understood. And what drew me to her specifically was the fact that, she's that other side of my culture that I did not know, that I did not understand. And what I've loved is to learn more about that and find the beauty in that. And I think that's a message for those people out there too. When you don't know I want to say it wrongly, but say it my way. When you're a mixed breed, right? As a person, when you're a mixed breed, it's hard to know which culture to learn first. But the beauty about that is that you have a chance to learn all of it. And even if it's not your culture, you to learn someone else's there's beauty to that. And I think that's one thing about society for sure needs to understand and be able to do that, to learn each other's cultures, learn the differences, and understand what that culture means to them, and what it means to the world. To be honest, it's good to understand it. And yeah, there's going to be bads that comes with that, but at least for you understanding it and to learn it is at least what we can do just to get a full broad picture of it. And not everyone has to like it, not everyone has to stay in that culture and go with that. Of course, everyone can build their own, but to learn, just to hear is very promising, because it opens up your mind for a lot of things, and it gives you questions, and a lot of times from those questions lead to answers. And with that, it's a beauty to that for sure. And I love that and I love that about my wife. That's one thing I love for sure. And to give that to our kids, even better. The other thing for sure I learned, education can start at any time, guys. Education can start at any freaking time. So the great thing is to get your butt in the books, get out there and learn as much as possible. I think that has been a big key to, even for my path. It's just anytime you can learn something. My age now, you can be 40 years old, guys. Be 40 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old, and take a class course on something. Or even then, hey, we got this broad resource of YouTube, broad resource of, social media, in a sense. It has all these master classes to learn something cool. And it may benefit to you wanting to do something else, guys. It's phenomenal. It's to have all of this in the grasp of our hands. To understand that now is even better. And keep children in school. Yes, there's, a lot of things different, ideas pertaining to school and stuff. But the foundation of learning starts from there. And from then on, it is our job as parents to guide them to be better, for sure. And that draws in their support system. And with that support system allows them to get the courage to keep, moving forward and to keep up with their education. And that's really that. It's our job to support them so that way they have the encouragement to keep learning. That's the only thing that'll help and give them the tools, to succeed in life, is that part of the education. The other thing for sure I learned was being an older brother requires strength, guys. Okay. It does. Being an older brother requires strength. It's, a lot of weight has to be carried on our shoulders for some time, and eventually it can lessen for sure. Okay. Doesn't mean it lasts long. But being an older brother is no easy job and no easy task, because you gotta look out for the siblings. You gotta handle those issues that come about and stuff. You gotta be a buffer between your younger sibling to the parents. You gotta be a support system when knowing that one parent may not be supporting the other parent properly. That and it's not your job. It's not our job to do so, for sure. But being that extra person is necessary, because it even builds the maturity within us. All of that helps. And I think but not that happening at all whatsoever, with any problems or issues in the family, that's a learning skill that may be lost. And that's helped me for sure, you know, overcome a lot of things. And I know for a fact, specifically, you know, thank you for SU3 for sharing, his lifestyle in that part right there, because, I know he had issues with, dealing with his mom and her health and stuff. And it's no easy task, especially growing up at a young age. Um, but for him to endure all of that, be a help, be a support system for his mom, knowing that he's feeling issues and he's feeling problems, it's that's strength. It takes strength to do that. So, thank you, Fresh 3, for sharing for that journey for sure. Um, Phenomenal. It's great. Great to hear. Now, understanding oneself allows you to achieve your goals, guys. That was one thing I learned from Miss Lexi. Lexi Flexi there. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing your journey. That right there was a good time to understand what her path was, as a sister-in-law, and appreciate, what she does for her mom, what she does for herself, and what she does for Zach the Mac, man. She puts in the work. She puts in the work, and the one thing is doing that, setting a goal, setting where a achievement of what you want, and what it needs to do, what needs to happen in order to achieve that for sure. And then from there, knowing who you are as a person, to know your strength, know your weaknesses, and be able to achieve those goals. It takes a lot of work, and for her to do that, pop powers to you and kudos, man. That was great, to a great chance to hear all that for sure. Um, the other thing is, the other thing I learned, it's okay to remember those are the ones that you lost. Miss Ellie, in that episode, thank you for sharing, your story of your lost sister. Uh, Rest in peace. But I know that was a hard journey, and I know that's you still it still deals with to this day. And I think for those like myself and like Ellie who lost people, it's no easy task to get over that. It's no easy task to feel better. But it's a must. It definitely is a must to survive. But even then, you're remembering that person because you remember the good times. You remember the smiles. You remember their advice. And a lot of times you get glimpses and flashes of remembering their touch, remembering their smell, remember their voice. Um, you you definitely get a lot of that. Um, and don't feel ashamed if you're going to damage yourself for a while after you lost that person. But I think you have to understand. I think you need to understand is that you gotta stay strong, and you gotta find ways to keep you strong. and not just for yourself, but for the person that you lost, because they wouldn't want you to damage yourself. They wouldn't want you to hurt yourself in any shape or form. They would want you to be happy. They would want you to find ways to be better. So with all of that, it's rough. It's a rough journey, but it's a good journey nonetheless. And I think right there is gives you the opportunities to show out when you remember that person that you lost, and to sit down and have a conversation with yourself and generally talk to them and sit there and say, this is what's going on. Because at that moment, you'll start to hear that person's advice. You'll start to hear their comments, their smirks, their little jokes, the little puns that they have. And then it turns to beauty, because it's exactly what would happen for sure. So those who have lost someone, I pray for them. Those who have lost, just know that it's okay to feel sad. It's okay. It's okay to feel that pain. But the great thing is you're not alone in all that, because a lot of people out there are willing to help, willing to have the conversation for sure, like myself. But you got to move forward, and you can't let that hold you back, because they wouldn't want you to at all. Now, to Mr. Kent, entrepreneur out there in 216 Studios for sure. Mr. Coach, he has been a new friend in my life that I've appreciated for sure. And I appreciate the opportunities to get my butt on that platform of doing a podcast, because it's been fun. It's been a great journey. It's been great understanding the good side of things and all that, right? And it's been definitely a great opportunity to kind of see what I want for my future, for sure. And to have a connection and to have a resource and friendship with all that is even better all around. One thing I learned about him being a father is for sure is what I'm doing, it can never be perfect. Can never be a perfect dad, for sure. But as life goes on, seeing my kids do certain things, you tend to realize you're doing a good job. You're doing what you've in your mind wanted for your vision in those circumstances. And even if they call me over, like the story you shared, Mr. Kent, call me over late at night just to kill a spider, I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at that. That's beauty in its truest right there, because that's family. And with family and kids, those little things like that is good stories to tell, for sure. But also to have a rock of a wife to be able to support, encourage, definitely let you know when you're doing wrong, but have the strength to endure and have the strength to love. That right there is all the more, what a man needs, for sure. So thank you, Kent, for sharing your story on that. Moving on to Mr. Tom, man. Mr. Tom Hayside, good old friend right there. One thing I learned about him is just keep moving, man. Your life doesn't stop. You never know what you're doing, and when you end up doing something that you really like, turns into something of a good business, right? Like this, doing something I really learned to like about doing a podcast is just having a conversation, being able to talk. Those who may know me for sure on the outside, I talk a lot of times. And I can talk loud, I can talk low, I can talk crazy. I definitely can talk crazy for sure. But it's being able to do something that you like and find something in the way, do it consistently and do it the best of your ability to the point where you get a lot of different things that come on board, and he has been able to have, meet a lot of people, of course, and being able to, help those that may needed help in the gym, just by being in the gym, guys, just by lifting a weight. You never know when you're really helping someone, and especially just by lifting the weight. A lot of times, a lot of people like myself, once they get their butt in that weight room and they start lifting weights, it's life changing. It really truly is. It is life changing. Maybe they want to sculpt their body a certain way. Maybe they want to shred some pounds. Maybe they want to get more endurance in running or walking. Maybe they want to really be a bodybuilder. Who freaking knows? Never knows. But just by doing that and not knowing that he did all that, I know for a fact that has been a benefit to owning a gym for sure. And his only want in the world right now is just to help someone. And that right there is the way he knows he can help somebody. And that's phenomenal. And it's been nothing but a great thing to see over social media and keep in touch with an old friend, and nothing but respect and love of his path and his journey. And it's good to see, but because it encourages me too as well, that you can still keep doing stuff. And it was a great time to sit down with him for sure. And I thank you, Tom, for spare your time and spare your location to record over there, because that was fun meeting all different types of people. And it's a great facility and it feels welcoming for sure. And for him being that type of gym owner, of being present, talking, communicating, and letting them know, resources and stuff like that, that right there knows and shows you right there that he's very passionate. So much respect, Tom, much respect. Last but not least, and finally, I would say, now finally, little bro, Mr. Los, thank you for sure for sparing me some time, and allowing me to come through at the cribbo and having a good conversation over there. It was, as always, having a conversation with Mr. Los, man. It's a great conversation because you get to reflect on what you're doing to know what you want to do moving forward. And Los is an encourager right there for sure. My former gym bro, man, former gym bro. And I think that's the one thing I miss for sure is having the gym sessions with that guy, and one understanding what we keep telling each other is just consistency, and make sure we stay consistent in what we're doing, because it betters ourselves as a man, but also as a person who just wants a better future. And being able to tell each other, hey man, you need to do this right. You're doing this wrong. I think you need to step it up here. And as gym brothers, right, I think that's what helped the most, being able to vocalize with each other, knowing that it's coming with respect, and knowing that it's coming a place of love, and knowing it's coming a place of just wanting something more for each other. That as a brothership for sure. And it's been great, especially knowing that he's my brother-in-law. And a lot of times in some relationships with brother-in-laws, you don't get a chance to have that connection. But that was one thing I know for a fact of what I wanted and what I've definitely wanted to achieve for sure with my little brother is that, instead of sitting there saying you're an in-law, it's my brother. It's my brother to the day I die. So it's just been good to see his journey growing up for sure. It has been An honor to be able to help him in any way, shape, or form that I could. And it's gonna be even better just to continue seeing his future thrive, see his first wife, see his first child, see his family grow, see himself grow. That right there is what for sure I'm wishing for, and I can't wait for that to happen. So thank you guys. What I went through is all my thank yous to my guests. And like I said, many more to come, guys. For those who want to do a podcast with me, want me to interview you so we could talk about stuff, man, chop it up with me. Let me know what you're willing to do. The family members, friends, other entrepreneurs, I don't care. Let's sit down. Let's have a convo, because stuff like that is what I love to learn about, but also, have a chance to share my story with you guys too that may help as well. So let me know. Let me know if you guys are still down. And there's more things to come, everybody. Definitely more things to come. I got another show in the works with Zach the Mac. We still got Wrestle 2 with, old man out there. Definitely shout out to that. We got Mr. Zach the Mac on Roll It Up podcast. My brother in crime, man, right there. Roll It Up. If you guys want, can't wait to see season 2 stopping on by and premiere for that one for sure. So stay tuned for that. And season 2, I'll shout out my season premieres too. Give it some time. I'm going to get these guests lined up. I want to get these episodes in the books, get all this right for everybody, because it's only a lot more to come. A lot more to come. So thank you guys who are on this journey with me. Much appreciation. And hopefully with these episodes was able to help you. And stay tuned. It's going to be a lot more to come. Okay? Signing out, you guys. Appreciate y'all.